Hello. I am way behind on a lot of different video projects and things that I'd like to share with people, and today we're going to try and do one of them. My schedule's been terrible, and I just have to come up against and face the idea that life is hard, but as we've heard very clearly stated in our All-for-One Regime Diabolique campaign, life is hard. So we must be harder. So let's sally forth and see what we can do. This is going to be a short video. It won't be complete. It's just part one of what I intend to be a series, and it's on this game, OS+R, which is written by Scott Welker, who many of you may know as Disembowel, especially if you're in the Savage Worlds community. OS+R, which stands for Oubliettes, Sorcery, and Reavers, a partially tongue-in-cheek kind of name, is what kind of game? According to the front cover, it's a game of fantasy adventure and roleplay. So when we go inside, we find, reassuringly, a list of playtesters. And if you're out there thinking about writing a game and you aren't thinking about lining up playtesters, rethink. Right? So the very important playtesters, and then the very clear index. This brings us to page 6, where we get intentions. This is the sort of thing I very much like to see in any role-playing game. What do you really expect people to do with this thing? Or how should I interpret your writing, or your rulings, or your rules, or these creatures, or these scenarios that you present, and so on and so forth? I can only do that if you let me in on your intentions, and Scott does so here. He begins this page with words matter. Isn't that the truth? And he tells us that this game is a method of creating tales of heroism, conflict, and glory, and he wants us to embrace this, whether we play it or run it. The second paragraph goes into the specific direction for the game, how it is to be run. And it's designed to be run with flexibility from the game master side. This is the rulings over or in absence of rules. This is the roar concept, right? As opposed to the raw concept, play it exactly rules as they were written in the text, or at least as you interpret them as having been written. All right, so there's flexibility for the game master to go with what feels right or what they need right now, and the game is intended to put player-facing decisions and situations up front and center. So it's not a GM-centric game. It's, in a sense, trying to bridge gaps between what is viewed as old school play and what is viewed as new school play. So the system is intended to allow the players and game master to flexibly collaborate with tactical, social, and role-play focused choices as to how effects are implemented in play. We have a clear intention presented to us. The third paragraph rounds all of this out, saying that OS+R GMs and players should never feel the need to reach out and ask, can I do this? How do I do this? Is this allowed? Now, he's specifically talking reach out to him, right? To contact him online and say, excuse me, sir, how do I run your game? I've got a player who would like to do this, and I'm just really not sure. Go for it, he says. Make a decision. This is your game, your setting, your system. Once it hits your hand, if you can't find something in it immediately or even after searching, apply it. Right? Make it what you need to be at the moment you need it. There's no winning or losing in the board or video game sense. Fun is the predominant order of the day. When you make something up, make sure that its use at the table is fun. And these are the intentions for play. On page 7, he gives us 3 things. One is talking about the dice. What dice do you need? And if you're not sure how to get dice, like if this is your first role-playing game, then where to get them. So that's handy. Next, we have Rule 0 and Rule 1, and that's really what I want to talk about today. Rule 0, and I'll quote, This is normally where you learn the GM can do as they please, and that is that. OS+R does not go that route. In OS+R, Rule 0 defines the role of the GM as the presenter of the dilemmas faced by the players. It is the purview of the players to come up with solutions. The GM should engage the characters and the players and adjudicate decisions and dice rolls when outcomes are uncertain or in dispute. That's it. The GM is a referee. Players allow the GM to mold the world and the rulings as they see fit. They are here to facilitate a story evolving around the imaginations of several players. So this, coupled with the previous intentions page, gives us a very clear sense of how this is to be run. Right? That we are trying very hard, in the fun sense, we're playing hard to have tales of heroism, conflict, and glory. Heroism, conflict, and glory. That's what this is built to do. And the Game Master, when fulfilling that role, is to be making decisions that take us in that direction. And players, while playing, need to trust that that's going to happen and do things which lead in that direction, because they are the ones that are fueling everything. Now, how do I know that is true? Aren't I reading a little bit between the lines? No, because there's Rule 1. Rule 1. This is the rule that tells you everyone is here to have fun. Everyone is here to play a game. Just a game. Nothing that occurs at the table is worth real-life friendships. It is just a game of silly make-believe, so have fun. Have fun. OS+R. A game of fantasy, adventure, and roleplay. A game of collaboration. A game of improvisation. A game of internalization and application, moving toward a direction in harmony as a group, each person taking on distinct character roles, and in one case, the role of the referee, to balance all of the inputs, and at the end of the day, to be able to say, this was the tale of heroism, conflict, and glory that we created. Sound interesting? Then this might be something to take a look at, particularly if you're a fan of D20s. All right, that's the end of this video, and we'll be back with more on OS+R in the future.